Namaskar. Yeah, that's me, Shivesh Razdan, born and raised in the ever-growing city of Austin, Texas. I, a Kashmiri Indian, living my life with my family of mom, dad, and brother, have taken up the task of educating the young generation of our Kashmiri culture. 16 years of age and approaching the daunting junior year of high school, I am attending the National KOA camp for the first time, and looking forward to meeting with my fellow Kashmiris. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. World religions have primarily emanated from the two main cradles of human civilization, Middle East with Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which are known as Abrahamic religions, or religions based around the message from the prophet Abraham, and India with Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, and Buddhism. These are known as the Dharmic faiths, based around the concept of Dharma, which I will talk about shortly. The religions of India, especially Hinduism, predate those of the Middle East by many centuries and have evolved over the time, influenced by surrounding cultures and beliefs, much like a rolling stone picking up moss. Abrahamic faiths, on the other hand, can be compared to a tree branch, where the ideals and beliefs divide off but maintain the same basic value. Here is a general overview of the significant differences between the groups of religions. In Abrahamic religions, Abraham is referred to as the common founder, and heaven and hell is a primary belief, whereas Dharmic religions have no common founder, and heaven and hell are transitory phases, with enlightenment being final. Abrahamic religions are all monotheistic, while Dharmic religions are more complex in their beliefs. Strict rules and commandments reign over the Abrahamic religions, while Dharmic religions are much more lenient, with belief, faith, and rules and regulations. To compare the two sets of religions in further detail, we must first go over their individual beliefs and values. The belief and value systems of the two religion groups is a major distinction between them. In Dharmic scriptures, the Supreme Being is not a definite being. Hinduism and Sikhism believe in one being above all. The Supreme Being referred to as the Brahman in Hinduism, while God has no name in Sikhism. The Supreme Being is an abstract and formless entity, but can take many personal forms and can be perceived in many ways. Jainism and Buddhism don't believe in such a God. Jainism and Buddhism believe one can liberate themselves by ridding themselves of their bad karma. Abrahamic religions believe in one God and heaven and hell. Abraham is recognized by most Abrahamic religions as the first prophet. The religion is majoritively faith-based, with rules and commandments set up to be simple, formal, and rational. Most ways of worship are exact, and although some variation occurs, most are not respected. Certain themes common to the Dharmic value system include the concepts of dharma, samsara, karma, and moksha for all souls. Dharma, the defining characteristic amongst the Indic religions as per the title, has multiple definitions respective to the specific religion. In Hinduism, dharma signifies behaviors, duties, conduct, virtues, and right ways of living. In Buddhism, dharma means cosmic law and order, and in Buddhist philosophy, represents phenomena. Dharma in Jainism refers to the teachings of Tirthankara and the body of doctrine pertaining to the purification and moral transformation of human beings. For Sikhs, the word dharma means the path of righteousness and proper religious practice. Samsara, moksha, and karma are all interconnected. Karma represents the ethical dimension of the process of rebirth. Samsara, belief in which is generally shared amongst the religious traditions of India. While moksha is the liberation from all sorrow and the attainment of enlightenment or freedom from samsara, which any Atman or soul can achieve. Another easy way to classify the Eastern religions from the Western religions is to distinguish their respective definitions of life to death. As many of you may know, dharmic religions such as Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, and Buddhism have the thought process that death is not infinite. Rather, it is moksha and nirvana that is. The Indic religions believe that all Atman evolve towards God realization, the highest state of consciousness, and the goal and ultimate destiny of all souls in creation, better known by the popular term nirvana. They believe all souls will ultimately find moksha, and that not a single soul will be eternally deprived of this destiny. To put it simply, time is cyclical. One dies, stays in transient state, born, and dies. Even the creation is cyclical. Abrahamic religions, on the other hand, believe life is one and done, and linear, whereas dharmic reincarnation would be cyclical. The life that we live is judged by the man above, whether it be Yahweh, Allah, or the Holy Trinity, and the purpose of that life is to do no wrong and avoid, overcome, and eliminate sin. By doing so and obeying God's command, salvation is assured. Coming to the other topic of the differences between Kashmir Shaivism and Advaita Vedanta philosophy, there were not too many sources of verifiable and authentic information, and I have leaned on a couple of sources, including Swamiji Lakshmanju, who is one of the modern masters of Kashmir Shaivism. Kashmir Shaivism has its origins in the 8th century. Not a surprise that Kashmir would be the cradle of such elevated discourse, since Kashmir had always been a center for learning and philosophical engagement. The Shiva Sutras were the first treatise written by Vasugupta in the 9th century, followed by Somananda's Shiva Drishtis. Abhinav Gupta came to be the premier practitioner and teacher of Kashmir Shaivism, as he taught hundreds of disciples and left us the invaluable works like his Tantra Lokas. At its essence, Kashmir Shaivism differs from the more known Advaitic Vedanta in the definition of the Supreme Being and the relationship of the living objects, like us humans and animals, animate objects, etc., to the Supreme Being. In Vedanta, the Supreme is the Chit, or the Brahman, and is the source of all jnana or knowledge. In Kashmir Shaivism, the Supreme Being is known as Param Shiv, and is not only the power, but also the driver of the action that all of the jivas undertake. This puts Kashmir Shaivism on a different plane than Vedantic philosophies. One thing that Swamiji has called out as a key difference between the two philosophies is that way one goes about the actions in our lives. The jiva in Vedanta is supposed to simply do their dharma and not expect any reward for it. While this altruistic position sounds good, it does not comprehend the relationship of the jiva with the supreme consciousness. As Swamiji explains, in Kashmir Shaivism, it is clearly enunciated that the jiva should do their actions while constantly being in touch with the supreme Paramashiv. Similarly, the Vedantic philosophy could almost be likened to be dual in nature, where the Brahman and the self or jiva are separate entities with clear roles. Shaivism, on the other hand, lends itself to the jiva and the Paramashiv being part of the same reality, with the supreme consciousness driving the actions of the jiva. The manifestation of the universe in Kashmir Shaivism is that it is real, with the oneness of the universe and the Paramashiv. This is different than the Vedantic philosophy that lays out the presence of the universe as ephemeral. In fact, Vedanta teaches that the whole universe is an illusion or maya and isn't real. Kashmir Shaivism, on the other hand, calls out the universe as a tattva, one of the 36 tattvas that it teaches. The core of Kashmir Shaivite philosophy is centered around the core consciousness, also known as Paramship, and the realization that one can attain the higher state of realization by focusing on our relationship with this supreme consciousness. In today's environment, Kashmir Shaivism provides a very direct link to the divine for all jivas, not just select few. Vedanta teaches that its practice can primarily be undertaken by a monastic person, In Kashmir Shaivism, there is no such limitation. In fact, it teaches that the female beings can elevate themselves even faster and higher than their male counterparts. This is ideal for the current era, where the differences in education and literacy have vanished between the sexes. My conclusion. I hope I was able to convey my thoughts and learnings about this subject. I'm going to be honest, my knowledge of Kashmir Shaivism and Dharmic traditions was quite limited, or rather non-existent, before approaching this project. This assignment was an interesting and different challenge. I've learned quite a bit about the subject now, and I'd like to thank the KOA organization for giving me the opportunity and platform to learn and grow. Thank you all. Namaskar.